Good afternoon, friends. Very warm welcome to Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, MOS Finance and Corporate Affairs, Sri Anurag Thakuri, Finance Secretary, Dr. Ajay Bhushan Pandey, Secretary DFS, Sri Devasis Panda, and Secretary DA, Sri Tarun Bajaj. Friends, I'll request the Honorable Minister to address the media first, and then later we can take your questions. Ma'am, please.
Namaskar. Today we have some proposals to. Am I audible or is it? It's all right. We have some proposals to stimulate demand in the economy. I've broadly classified into two different compartments the content of what I'm likely to say today: consumer spending and that which goes for capital expenditure. So, as always, we'll have Anurag ji doing the Hindi and I do the English. So, first we talk about the background, then how are we doing the consumer spending, and then going over to capital expenditure. There's no gainsaying in the fact that the pandemic has affected adversely the economy. अब थोड़ा इस तरफ होना चाहिए, मेरा स्क्रीन सामने है. Sorry. So the needs of the poor and the weaker sections have been addressed somewhat in the various announcements that we came up with, the PM Garib Kalyan Yojana, then the Atmanirbhar package and so on. Supply constraints have somewhat eased, but consumer demand still needs to be given a bit of a boost.
नमस्कार। जैसा माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने कहा कि पूर्व में भी हम आप सबके बीच में आए थे इस कोरोना महामारी के समय, और आज एक बार फिर राहत देने के लिए और विशेष तौर पर अर्थव्यवस्था में मांग को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए कुछ फिस्कल प्रूडेंट प्रपोजल्स हम लेकर आए हैं। आर्थिक प्रस्ताव आपके बीच में लेकर आए हैं जिसमें विशेष तौर पर उपभोक्ता खर्च कैसे बढ़े और पूंजीगत व्यय कैसे बढ़े, इसके ऊपर भी हम अपनी बात आप सबके बीच में रखेंगे। कोविड-19 का
Please.
इस महामारी का जो प्रतिकूल प्रभाव अर्थव्यवस्था पर पड़ा है वो सब आपके सामने है, लेकिन उस समय भी गरीबों की और कमज़ोर वर्ग की मदद मोदी सरकार करती रही, और माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने उस समय भी प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण पैकेज की घोषणा की थी और आत्मनिर्भर पैकेज की घोषणा की थी, और जिससे ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में मांग भी बढ़ी। और उसका बड़ा कारण था कि 80 करोड़ लोगों को 8 महीने तक अनाज देना और 1 लाख करोड़ से ज़्यादा 1,01,000 करोड़ MG नरेगा में उसमें उपलब्ध करवाना, और लगभग 68,000 करोड़ से ज़्यादा आपके खातों में सीधे तौर पर जो डाले गए उससे उसका लाभ भी पड़ा। और अब भी देखा जाए आपूर्ति की बाधा को कम किया गया और उपभोक्ता मांग अभी भी प्रभावित अगर है तो उसमें कैसे सुधार हो, उसको लेकर माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी आपके सामने कुछ विषय लेकर आए हैं।
So, the proposals which are getting presented today are designed in such a way that they can stimulate demand by front-loading some of the expenditure or by advancing, in other words, advancing some of the expenditure with some offsetting charges later. Others are directly linked to an increase in the GDP. So this is what is before us for today. With that background given, we move over to the consumer spending related proposal. So the consumer spending related proposal has two components to it. One is the LTC cash voucher scheme, and the other component within that consumer spending relates to special festival advance scheme. So we will be looking at the consumer spending aspect first, which has two of these components.
सो मांग को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए कुछ निर्णय और कुछ घोषणाएं आज आप सबके सामने करने वाले हैं, ताकि खर्चे की फ्रंट लोडिंग कैसे की जा सके और इससे एक विवेकपूर्ण प्रस्ताव आर्थिक रूप से उसमें लेकर आए हैं। इससे जीडीपी में भी वृद्धि हो, उस पे भी इसका असर होगा और इससे लोगों को भी बल मिलेगा, राहत मिलेगी और डिमांड बढ़ेगी। उस दृष्टि से एलटीसी कैश वाउचर स्कीम एक ये लेकर आए हैं और दूसरा स्पेशल फेस्टिवल एडवांस स्कीम ये आपके बीच में लेकर आए हैं, ताकि यात्रा अवकाश भत्ता योजना में जो आगे आपके सामने विस्तार में रखी जाएंगी, उससे कैसे व्यय बढ़े, उपभोक्ता व्यय कैसे बढ़े, उस दिशा में कदम उठाए गए हैं।
So the first of the two components on consumer spending is on the LTC cash voucher scheme. You're all aware that government employees and many organized sector employees have had their jobs protected, their salaries protected, and as a result, some initial indications show that savings have increased. Because of the lockdown, many of them could not even spend their usual expenditure. So we would like to incentivize them to contribute to the revival of the demand for the benefit of the less fortunate. So what is it that we want to do to the leave travel concession cash voucher scheme? You are aware that central government employees in a block of 4 years, in this case we are taking the instant case, which is between 2017-18, 18-19, 19-20 and 20-21, 4-year block in which employees normally would have gone or would have availed of one leave travel to any destination of their choice, or one leave travel concession or leave travel to any destination of their choice plus one to their hometown. Otherwise, if they didn't choose a leave travel to any one destination of their choice, they would go 2 times to their native village. So one travel to a destination of their choice, or 2 travel to their native place. Sometimes it could be 1 plus 1, 1 of their choice and 1 to their native place, or 2 to their native place, which means air or rail fare as per their scale of pay, entitlement, and so on is reimbursed to them. And in addition to that, when they take the leave travel, they also get 10 days of leave encashment for that. The leave encashment has a tax component. They pay tax on it, whereas the LTC, which is the travel fare, is tax exempt. In the scheme that we are coming up with now, all this remains the same. Where the taxation was levied on 10 days of their leave concession, that will still be levied. But on the airfare travel, it will not be levied. But can they travel now? They can't because of COVID. Many of them don't want to. So instead, what we are offering is they could have that money is given to them, for which we have had about 3 kinds of slabs created. And based on that, 3 slabs, which is as per the government rules and procedures, they could spend that money in buying something of their choice. So the amount which is given to them as per their government rules, their rank, their position, their whatever, is now brought to 3 different slabs. And they are flat rate slabs, which is equivalent to the travel ticket, the round ticket that they would get, and that, which will continue to be tax-free, will have to be spent on items which have 12% or more GST tax levied on them. So you won't be buying those items of food, essentials like which are in 5% slab, but you will spend them on items which have 12% or more GST. You won't just spend that amount, you will spend 3 times that amount. So this comes as an advance for you, and you spend 3 times more on items which are 12% or more in GST taxation. And even more, you will spend them only in a digital mode, no cash transactions. And you will spend them only on GST registered places which sell such goods or provide such service. And therefore, a GST invoice will be required, and they will be reimbursed. So otherwise, the LTC ticket fare component, which is now divided into 3 flat rates per person that you normally take, will have to be taken, and you spend 3 times that amount to benefit from this scheme. Whereas your leave travel, on which there is a tax component which continues, which is not a new tax, that if you spend just 1 time, that will be sufficient. All this has to be done, meaning you will have to spend it all by 31st March 2021. So this is the first one on the leave travel. I'll go to the next one afterwards, after the Hindi, which is the festival advance. But now the LTC and related leave leave encashment will be said in Hindi by Anurag ji.
धन्यवाद। जैसा माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने बताया कि यात्रा अवकाश भत्ते का जो कैश वाउचर स्कीम है, इसको मोदी सरकार आपके सामने लेकर आई है, क्योंकि इस महामारी के समय देश और दुनिया पर तो प्रभाव पड़ा, लेकिन सरकारी कर्मचारियों पर उस तरह से कोई भी आर्थिक तनाव या दबाव नहीं बना। लेकिन एक तरफ से देखा जाए तो इनकी सैलरीज भी प्रोटेक्टेड थी, और इनकी जो सेविंग्स है, बचत जो हुई, वो भी ज़्यादा हुई सरकारी कर्मचारियों की। तो इस समय इनको और राहत देकर किस तरह से जो कम भाग्यशाली वर्ग है उसका भला भी कैसे हो, नगद वाउचर इनको मिले एलटीसी के माध्यम से, यात्रा अवकाश भत्ते के माध्यम से, और जब ये खर्चा करें तो उसका प्रभाव देश की अर्थव्यवस्था पर कैसे पड़े। एक तरफ अर्थव्यवस्था बढ़ेगी और दूसरी तरफ जो कम भाग्यशाली लोग हैं उनको भी व्यापार करने का अवसर मिलेगा, उनकी भी आय बढ़ेगी। तो इसके लिए जो माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने बताया कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयज़ को 4 वर्षों में 4 वर्ष के ब्लॉक में यात्रा अवकाश भत्ता मिलता है। एक मिलता है कि देश में कहीं भी जा सके, और 2 बार अपने घर, जहाँ पर भी उनका घर है वहाँ पर जाने का अवसर मिलता है। और इसमें हवाई भत्ता भी मिलता है, रेल का भी मिलता है, उनके स्केल और एंटाइटलमेंट के अनुसार ही मिलता है, और उनको रिम्बर्स, उसका वापस भुगतान भी वैसे किया जाता है। इसके अलावा लीव एनकैशमेंट की जो बात की गई 10 दिन की, वो भी अगर देखा जाए अवकाश नकदीकरण, वो भी 10 दिन का किया जाता है उनकी तनख्वाह और डीए को जोड़कर। और कोविड-19 के समय जो लोग एलटीसी का फ़ायदा नहीं उठा पाए उनको इसका लाभ मिले। जिन्होंने पहले ले लिया उनके लिए तो नहीं, लेकिन जो नहीं ले पाए उनके लिए इसका लाभ मिलेगा। एक तो ये होगा, लेकिन इसके लिए क्या नियम होंगे उस पर मैं थोड़ी बात रखना चाहूँगा। एलटीसी के बदले उनको कैश पेमेंट मिल रही है, नकद भुगतान हो रहा है, उपलब्ध कराया जा रहा है। नकद का मतलब ये भी डिजिटली होगा, और इसके लिए भी इसकी जो पूरी पेमेंट है, ये जो अवकाश नकदीकरण का पूरा भुगतान है, ये पूरा किया जाएगा। और इसकी जो पेमेंट है, ये पात्रता के अनुसार जो है भाड़े का भुगतान किया जाएगा। जो फेयर चाहे ट्रेन का है या हवाई जहाज़ का है वो वैसे किया जाएगा। और जो भाड़े की पेमेंट होगी, फेयर की पेमेंट होगी, वो टैक्स फ्री होगी, उस पर कोई टैक्स नहीं लिया जाएगा। इसमें कर्मचारी के पास जो ऑप्शंस हैं, जो इसके लिए ऑप्ट करेंगे, जो इसके स्कीम के लिए जाएंगे, उनको क्या करना होगा। इसमें लाभ उठाने वाले कर्मचारी को किसी भी वस्तु या माल के ऊपर या सेवाओं के ऊपर जो उसके भाड़ा है, फेयर है, उसका 3 गुना ज़्यादा खर्च करना पड़ेगा, तब जाके वो उसको क्लेम कर सकता है। और जो उसका अवकाश नकदीकरण है, लीव एनकैशमेंट है, उसका 1 गुना है, यानी कि उतना ही उसको खर्च करना पड़ेगा। और ये उसको 31 मार्च 2021 से पहले खर्च करना है। और इसमें केवल 2 छोटी छोटी बातें हैं कि जो जीएसटी जिस पर 12% या थोड़ा उससे ज़्यादा वाली स्लैब में आते हैं, उसके ऊपर इनको खर्च करना होगा। और जीएसटी रजिस्टर्ड जो वेंडर है, जो व्यापारी है, उसी से इनको सामान लेना है या सेवाएं लेनी है और उस पर ही भुगतान करना है। और भुगतान भी डिजिटल मोड से करना है ताकि डिजिटल इंडिया को बल भी मिले। और जो इसकी जीएसटी इनवॉइस होगी बाद में इनको प्रस्तुत भी करनी पड़ेगी जब इनको अपना क्लेम तो क्या, इसमें तो पहले से ही प्री लोडेड है, इसलिए जीएसटी इनवॉइस भी इनको देनी होगी। धन्यवाद।
So what is the financial boost that we assess that this will, and our assessments are very conservative. We think that the central government employees, if they opt for it, this will cost around 5,675 crores. And employees of the public sector banks and employees of the public sector other undertakings will also be allowed to avail of this facility. And we think for them, for the PSBs and PSUs, the estimated cost for them will be about 1,900 crores, which anyway they will have to bear if the LTC schemes were to be running without any obstruction. But because of COVID, people are not able to travel. Now we want to tell them that you don't need to travel, but the travel fare you take and spend it so that it gives a boost to the economy. Now, the tax concessions, as I said earlier, are available for all those tickets which central government normally gives for the LTC. These tax concessions are available even for the state governments, so, and for the private sectors too. So, if they choose to, we are not saying they should, if they choose to give such things for their employees, both the state governments and private sector, they, whoever in their roles is entitled for LTC, they will also get the benefit of the same taxation benefits which the central government employees get. So the demand infusion in the economy by the central government and central government public sector undertakings, we estimate will be around 19,000 crores, and this is an approximation. And demand infusion, even if, let us say, just 50% of the states opt to give this facility because even their state government employees do get LTC. For them, if they give, we think that will bring in about 9,000 crores. So that will be the demand infusion. And when we say state governments, we've given a conservative estimate. If all of them join, it can be even much more. And state governments, again, do have their own LTC designed to help the states. In some states, they allow the LTC only to travel within the state. And in some other states, they allow travel outside the states also. So there can be some variation in the scheme. But I'm only giving you a conservative estimate of 9,000 crore. So additional consumer demand generated as a result, we expect will be in the range of 28,000 crores.
अर्थव्यवस्था को वित्तीय बढ़ावा मिले और जो निर्णय अभी किया गया, जिसकी माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने आपके सामने बात रखी, अगर सरकारी कर्मचारी केंद्र के इसका लाभ उठाते हैं तो इसका कुल मिलाकर 5,675 करोड़ रुपए का इसमें उसका इम्पैक्ट देखने को मिलता है। और अगर हमारे पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स के या PSUs के एम्प्लॉयज़ भी इसका लाभ उठाते हैं और वो भी इसकी फैसिलिटी देते हैं तो इससे भी लगभग 1,900 करोड़ रुपए का उस पर फ़र्क आएगा, उसको खर्चा होगा। टैक्स कंसेशन जो केंद्र की सरकार, जैसे पहले कहा कि भाड़े पर दिया जाता है, उसी तर्ज पर अगर राज्य की सरकारें भी और प्राइवेट सेक्टर भी अगर केंद्र के दिशा निर्देशों को मानता है और ये जो पात्र हैं LTC के यात्रा अवकाश के लिए, इसके लिए इनको इसका लाभ उठा सकते हैं। केवल केंद्र सरकार के दिशा निर्देशों को मानना होगा, इनको टैक्स कंसेशन भी मिल जाएगा। और इससे अर्थव्यवस्था में कितनी मांग बढ़ेगी, इससे 19,000 करोड़ रुपया केंद्र सरकार के कर्मचारियों, पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स और PSUs के माध्यम से बढ़ेगी और राज्य की सरकारों के जो कर्मचारी हैं उनके माध्यम से लगभग 9,000 करोड़। तो कुल मिलाकर 28,000 करोड़ की अतिरिक्त उपभोक्ता मांग पैदा होगी, जिससे अर्थव्यवस्था को भी बल मिलेगा और जो मैंने पहले कहा, कम भाग्यशाली को ज़्यादा आय और ज़्यादा व्यापार के अवसर भी इससे मिलेंगे।
Just to recall, we said for incentivizing consumer spending, we have brought up some proposals which we want to show that before you as to what are being offered. The first one related to LTC, leave travel concession, and also encashment of the leave that they take during the LTC. That was the first part of the consumer spending heading that I had shown you earlier. Under consumer spending, we now show you the second offer, which is Special Festival Advance Scheme. As you're all probably aware, till 6th Pay Commission, there was this provision for festival advance, which was at the, I think, highest level was 4,500 rupees per non-gazetted officer, rank and below. So it pertained only to people who were non-gazetted or below, and they were given a flat sum of 4,500, and then it was repaid little by little. Now that was abolished after the 6th Pay Commission. When the 7th Pay Commission came in, there was no special festival advance. We are now reviving it as a one-time affair. Now the 7th Pay Commission is on, as you're all aware, and it doesn't have a festival advance thing in it. But we are now reviving it just for one time, this one time. And in that, we are not limiting it only to the non-gazetted officials. It is now going to be available for all. 10,000 rupees and not 4,500, which was the last festival advance under the 6th Pay Commission. So in the 7th Pay Commission, there was no provision for festival advance. We are reviving it. We are reviving it just this one time. And this time, we are giving 10,000 rupees for all central government employees, irrespective of their position, rank, gazetted, non-gazetted, it doesn't matter, 10,000 rupees. And this shall be repaid in 10 installments. Back again, they would give it in 10 installments. But this festival advance will be available up to 31st March. I think what it shows in the presentation says 31st January. No, it will be up to 31st March. And this will be given as a prepaid RuPay card. So, a prepaid RuPay card will be given to them. It's an interest-free advance. You will be able to use it for any festival up to 31st March 2021. 31st March 2021. So in the next 6 months you can use it. It's a prepaid card for 10,000 rupees. We are not limiting it for any one festival. We are not limiting it to the GST only shops. No, you could spend it anywhere you want. Of course, you can't draw it as cash from an ATM. The RuPay card gives you a prepaid 10,000 rupees. You can't withdraw cash with it, but you can spend it in anything that you want to spend it on. The spending will have to be done by 31st March 2021. The bank charges for that, the card which is being given to you, will be borne by the government. And this, any transaction that you do with the RuPay card automatically, obviously, will have to be only in digital mode, so that obviously tax revenue can be generated by that commercial by that activity of buying and selling.
उपभोक्ता खर्च बढ़ाने के लिए और जीडीपी में भी उसका प्रभाव पड़े, वृद्धि हो, उस दृष्टि से पहला यात्रा अवकाश भत्ते के बारे में आपको बताया गया। और इसका दूसरा पार्ट जो है वो भारत में जिस तरह से त्योहारों का सीज़न भी आ रहा है, तो स्पेशल फेस्टिवल एडवांस स्कीम भी लेकर आई है सरकार। स्पेशल मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ, विशेष किस लिए है, क्योंकि जब 7वां पे कमीशन आया था उसमें एडवांस का कोई प्रावधान नहीं था। इससे पूर्व 6 पे कमीशन में 4500 रुपये मिलते थे, लेकिन इस बार माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने 10,000 रुपये का प्रावधान उसमें किया है और ये इंटरेस्ट फ्री एडवांस होगा। इस पे कोई ब्याज नहीं देना पड़ेगा, 10,000 रुपये आपको मिलेगा और ये भी पैसा आपको प्री लोडेड होगा। जो रुपए डेबिट कार्ड है उसके ऊपर आपको 10,000 रुपया सीधा पहले ही उसमें भरा होगा, आपको केवल उसको खर्च करना है और इसको वापस भी देना है तो 10 किश्तों में इसकी वापसी जाएगी और आपको इस पर ब्याज कोई नहीं देना। अगर कुल मिलाकर देखा जाए तो इस योजना में केवल केंद्र सरकार के कर्मचारियों पर लगभग 4,000 करोड़ रुपया संवितरित होने की उम्मीद है और अगर राज्य की सरकारें भी इसको लागू कर देती हैं तो लगभग 8,000 करोड़ रुपया इसके ऊपर संवितरित होने की उम्मीद है। अगर मैं इसका 50% भी लेता हूं तो 4,000 केंद्र सरकार और 4,000 राज्य की सरकारों का गिना जाए तो कुल मिलाकर 8,000 करोड़ की अतिरिक्त उपभोक्ता मांग इसमें पैदा होगी। इससे उसमें बल भी मिलेगा। इसमें बैंक चार्जेज जो है वो भी सरकार वहन करेगी और जैसा माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी डिजिटल इंडिया को बल देते हैं, डिजिटल पेमेंट्स को बल देते हैं और इसका हमने प्रभाव महामारी के समय भी देखा कि किस तरह से कोई पैसा इधर उधर गए बगैर सारा पैसा गरीबों के खाते में गया। उसी तरह से पैसा जब कर्मचारियों को मिलेगा तो पारदर्शी तरीके से खर्च हो तो डिजिटल मोड ऑफ पेमेंट ही इसमें माना गया है और इसमें टैक्स रेवेन्यू में भी हमें बढ़ावा मिलेगा, कर राजस्व में वृद्धि होगी और कुल मिलाकर ईमानदार व्यापारी को लाभ मिलेगा और ईमानदार व्यापार को भी बढ़ावा इससे मिलेगा।
What I have not mentioned, which of course was said in Hindi, which was shown in the slide, is for the central government employees, this would be about 4,000 crores which gets disbursed in the form of a festival advance, 10,000 rupees per employee. Now, if state governments also join into this, there shall be another 8,000 crores which can come in. But even if I don't make an allowance for all the state government and all the employees, and only take 50% of them, about 4,000 crores is what I expect if state governments also go into the scheme. As a result, we will be able to have additional consumer demand generated to about 8,000 crores of rupees. So this, in fact, between these two, the leave travel concession and the leave encashment, which go as one of the package, and two is this festival advance, which we are resurrecting this time under the 7th Pay Commission, but this Pay Commission did not make a provision for it, but we are now creating it as a one-time offer and making it available for all government employees, not just for the non-gazetted ones. So that is towards the consumer spending. Now, if I go to explain the capital expenditure, we finished with the background, we finished with the consumer spending, two items. Now we look at capital expenditure, where we are talking both of the states and center. I'll explain the states first and then the center, although this one shows center and states. Center and the states, two components. I explain the states one first. In that capital expenditure, as you all know, money spent on infrastructure building and anything which goes for building capital, in the sense of building assets, has a greater multiplier effect in the economy. It not only raises the present day GDP, the current GDP, but also has an impact on future GDPs, and therefore it is a far more attractive multiplier creating expenditure that any government can undertake, and it also in the long run makes debt far more sustainable. So we want to now give a new thrust for the capital expenditure, both for the states and center. I will now speak of the states. The introduction be given by Anurag ji.
धन्यवाद वित्त मंत्री जी। कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर यानी कि पूंजीगत व्यय जो केंद्र और राज्य की सरकारों की इस पे बात करने जा रहे हैं, ये हम सब लोग जानते हैं कि पूंजीगत व्यय का गुणक प्रभाव होता है। कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर हैज़ अ हाई मल्टीप्लायर इफेक्ट, और इससे ना केवल हमारे वर्तमान सकल घरेलू उत्पाद को बढ़ावा मिलेगा, बल्कि भविष्य के भी सकल घरेलू उत्पाद को बल मिलेगा, बढ़ावा मिलेगा, और जो हमारा कर्ज है वो ज़्यादा सतत होगा। इससे राज्य की सरकारों को और केंद्र की सरकार को एक और गति मिलेगी, बल मिलेगा कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर करने के लिए, और ये पूंजीगत व्यय कुल मिला के जहाँ देश का एक और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाने में मददगार होगा, वहीं पर हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था को भी बल देगा।
So we now come to the proposal of providing special assistance for the states. We issue a 50-year interest-free loan to the states for capital expenditure exclusively, and to the total of 12,000 crores. So this will be an interest-free 50-year loan being offered to the states, and this has three components. This 12,000 crore gets split in three parts. The first part relates to 2,500 crore for all the northeast states, which means, and for Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. The northeast states alone will get 1,600 crores, which means the 8 northeast states will get 200 crores each for the next 50 years without interest. And Uttarakhand and Himachal will get 450 crore each for the next 50 years without interest. That's part one totaling 2,500 crores. Part 2 of this 12,000 crore that we are announcing will relate to all other states which are not covered in the part 1, which is the 8 northeastern states and 2 Uttarakhand and Himachal. So the rest of them are getting covered in this. This has a total of 7,500 crores, which will be divided in proportion to the share that they have as per the Finance Commission's devolution. So states can spend this money on capital projects. 50% will be initially given to them, and the rest 50% after the first 50% is utilized. But this total amount of 7,500 or the 2,500 for the Northeast, all of which will have to be spent by 31st March 2021. They will, please go back to the old slide. They will have to spend it by 31st March 2021. After the first 50% is spent, you get the second 50%, and that is therefore the part 2 that applies to all others also. Part 3 of the 12,000 crores being given to the states for 50 years is, now you have from the 12,000 crores, 2,500 gone to the Himalayan state, 8 plus 2, 7,500 gone to all states, but 2,000 will be for those states which, if you recall, I had during the Atmanirbhar package announcement, linked some of the performance-related incentives for borrowing. Now, whether that is happening or not, I've released that 0.5% which we had given as additional borrowing flexibility. Having delinked that, here I am telling you, 2,000 crores will be kept for those states which fulfill at least 3 of the 4 conditions that we put. I think the notification came in May sometime, that very clearly spelt 4 different reforms which states will have to undertake, like the one nation, one ration card, power sector reforms, and also some urban development, urban local body related reforms and so on. If from among the 4, you are able to do 3, from this 2,000 crore, states will have money given to them as interest-free loan for the next 50 years. So this 12,000 crore interest-free 50-year loan for the states have 3 components. First component is for the Northeast and Uttarakhand and Himachal. Second component is for all states, but entirely to be spent only on capital expenditure. Now we move to the next slide. This can be used for new or ongoing capital projects if they need funds. You can settle contractors' bills with it. You can settle suppliers' bills with it. Even pending bills can be paid with it. But it has got to be paid all before 31st March 2021. And this loan is over and above all other additional borrowing ceilings which have been given to the states. It has therefore got nothing to do with the rest of the borrowing ceilings which have been given. So the payment will be a bullet payment after 50 years. No servicing is required till then, neither for the principal nor for the interest.
मुझे लगता है ये राज्यों के लिए एक बड़ी अहम घोषणा है जो माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने आप सबके सामने रखी कि पूंजीगत व्यय में वृद्धि करने के लिए राज्यों को किस तरह से सहायता मिल सके, और इसमें विशेष व्यवस्था एक की गई है कि ब्याज मुक्त 50 वर्ष के लिए 12,000 करोड़ रुपए का कर्ज राज्य की सरकारों को दिया जा रहा है। 50 वर्षों के लिए ब्याज मुक्त 12,000 करोड़ रुपया पूंजीगत व्यय करने के लिए राज्यों को इसके माध्यम से दिया जा रहा है। और जिसकी मांग आप बार बार करते थे कि कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर बढ़ाएं, इससे राज्यों को बल मिलेगा। और इसका जो पहला भाग है उसमें नॉर्थ ईस्ट के राज्यों को 1600 करोड़ रुपए मिलेंगे। और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी सदा कहते थे हमें लुक ईस्ट की बजाय एक्ट ईस्ट में जाना है, और हमने वो करके दिखाया है। और माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने जो अभी घोषणा इस पर की है कि 1600 करोड़ रुपया, 2500 करोड़ में से 1600 करोड़ रुपया केवल नॉर्थ ईस्ट के 8 राज्यों के लिए जाएगा, और उत्तराखंड और हिमाचल के लिए 900 करोड़ रुपए का प्रावधान इसमें किया गया है। इससे बल इन पहाड़ी राज्यों को मिलेगा पूंजीगत व्यय करने के लिए। एक्सपेंडिचर जो कैपिटल पे किया जाए, इस पे किया जाएगा, कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर किया जाएगा उसके लिए। और इसका जो दूसरा भाग है वो लगभग 7500 करोड़ रुपया बाकी राज्यों के लिए रखा गया है। जिस तरह से फाइनेंस कमीशन के हस्तांतरण के लिए जो पूरी डिटेल्स आती हैं उसके अनुसार किया जाएगा। आधा हिस्सा इसका 7500 करोड़ का पहले शुरुआत में दे दिया जाएगा, और जो बाकी है उसको पहली इंस्टॉलमेंट जो 50% है उसका इस्तेमाल करने के बाद दिया जाएगा। और अगर कुछ भाग इसका खर्च नहीं होता है तो उसको भी रीएलोकेट करने का इसमें प्रावधान अलग से रखा गया है। जो इसका तीसरा पार्ट है 2000 करोड़ रुपए का, आपको याद होगा आत्मनिर्भर पैकेज के समय FRBM एक्ट के अनुसार जो 3% राज्यों के लिए प्रावधान है उससे ऊपर भी 2% खर्च करने की सुविधा दी गई। और 4 जो इसमें शर्तें थी उसमें से 3 को जो पूरा कर लेता है उनको ये अतिरिक्त 2000 करोड़ रुपया राज्यों को मिलेगा, ताकि वो बदलाव रिफॉर्म्स भी अपने राज्यों में लाएं, उनके राज्यों का भी भला हो। और जिन्होंने अच्छे रिफॉर्म्स कर दिए होंगे उनके लिए 2000 करोड़ रुपये उपलब्ध रहेगा और इसका वो सदुपयोग कर पाएंगे। इस पैसे को कहाँ खर्च किया जा सकता है? राज्य इसको किसी भी नए प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर या कोई चालू जो अभी वर्तमान कोई प्रोजेक्ट है उसके ऊपर, और इसमें चाहे ठेकेदारों के बिल की पेमेंट करनी हो, सप्लायर के बिल की पेमेंट करनी हो, उन सब की पेमेंट्स इसके माध्यम से की जा सकती है। कोई नया प्रोजेक्ट आना हो, मान लीजिए छोटे राज्य नए प्रोजेक्ट लाने में ही डरते थे कि उनके पास कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर करने के लिए पैसा नहीं होता था, तो उनको भी और बड़े राज्यों को भी इससे बल मिल पाएगा। और इसमें 31 मार्च 2021 समय सीमा रखी गई कि उसके पहले आपको ये खर्च करना होगा। जब ये इससे पहले खर्च होगा तो अर्थव्यवस्था में जब पैसा आएगा तो इससे और गति अर्थव्यवस्था को मिलेगी और इससे आगे भी बढ़ावा मिलेगा। इसके अलावा ये जो एक और इसमें बड़ी बात है कि जो बोरिंग लिमिट यानी कि जो कर्जा लेने की सीमा एक तय कर रखी थी, ये उसके अलावा है, और इसकी पेमेंट जो है वो भी बुलेट रीपेमेंट है, और वो भी 50 वर्षों के बाद है। इसमें कोई सर्विसिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है। कब तक? अगले 50 वर्षों तक। तो मुझे लगता है राज्यों के लिए एक बहुत बड़ी घोषणा आज इसके माध्यम से हुई है, क्योंकि मेरे तो अनुभव में इतना बड़ा पैसा और 50 वर्षों तक के लिए, और उसमें ब्याज की भी इतनी राहत आपको दी गई हो, तो ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी राहत राज्यों के लिए मदद है।
This is about the capital expenditure related to the states. Now I talk about the capital expenditure, capital enhanced budget provision for the center. 25,000 crores has been provided additionally to the budget which is already there for capital expenditure. 25,000 crores in addition to what has been said earlier. I think what was said earlier, Tarun Bajaj is here, he can correct me, was 4,13,000 crores. That was the amount for capital expenditure said earlier, 4,13,000 crores, if I have 4,12,000 something. Now we are giving additional 25,000 crores for budget for capital expenditure specifically on roads, defense infrastructure, water supply, urban development, and defense infrastructure, which is being repeated here, but they are for those materials, defense related infrastructure and domestically produced capital equipment. So defense infrastructure is one, the other is for defense infrastructure, domestically produced capital equipment. For any of these, if you are able to spend for the capital expenditure purposes, it will be getting an additional, we have 4 lakh something already given in the budget, 4 lakh 13,000 crores, another 25,000 crores is being added to that. And these allocations will be made during the forthcoming revised estimate discussions. So before I give you the summary,
भारत सरकार की ओर से, केंद्र सरकार की ओर से पूंजीगत व्यय में भी लगभग 25,000 करोड़ रुपए की और वृद्धि और उसका प्रावधान करने का निर्णय किया गया है। और ये जो अतिरिक्त बजट इसके लिए दिया जाएगा 25,000 करोड़ का, वो किन क्षेत्रों में पूंजीगत व्यय उसका हो सकता है, उसके लिए भी क्षेत्र निर्धारित किए गए हैं। सड़कों के ऊपर हो सकता है, जलापूर्ति के लिए हो सकता है, रक्षा बुनियादी ढांचों के लिए हो सकता है, शहरी विकास के लिए हो सकता है, और यहाँ तक कि जो भारत में बने पूंजीगत उपकरण हैं, जो कैपिटल इक्विपमेंट है, उनके ऊपर भी, ताकि मेक इन इंडिया को बल भी मिले, उसके लिए भी इसके लिए किया जा रहा है। तो इन क्षेत्रों में इसका खर्चा किया जाएगा और 25,000 करोड़ का ये एडिशनल अतिरिक्त बजट का जो प्रावधान यहाँ पर किया गया है वो इन क्षेत्रों के लिए किया जाएगा। और इसको आने वाली जो रिवाइज एस्टिमेट के लिए जो डिस्कशंस होंगी उस समय इसको कर दिया जाएगा, एलोकेशंस उस समय कर दी जाएंगी।
I'll just give you a summary of all that I've announced in the next 2 slides so that you see the actual impact which we assess. 36,000 crore additional consumer demand, which is split between the 28,000 crore through LTC vouchers and 8,000 crore through the festival advance scheme. 37,000 crore additional because of the center and state capital expenditure. So we assess the total boost to the demand estimated at is about 73,000 crores. All this to be spent before 31st March 2021. Now, a very rough estimate is that the potential private sector spending through LTC tax benefit will be at least equal to the government employee-led demand of 28,000 crores. We can't make a very accurate estimate of that. What is 28,000 crore, which is a government employee-driven consumer demand boost, can be equaled. It can be equaled if potential private sector spending also happens. So in a way, we would like to suggest to the private sector that if they also look at the LTC tax spending benefits, because it also has a tax concession, equal amount like the Government of India-led, employee-led consumer demand, which is we are pegging it at 28,000, and another 28,000 can come in through the private sector. That is conservative estimate. The total additional demand estimated, therefore, will exceed 1 lakh crore. That is our assessment. Measures by the government to stimulate demand, we'd like to say this as my closing remarks. Measures by the government to stimulate demand must not burden the common citizen with future inflation. We've kept that in mind. We've also kept it in mind that it must not put government debt on an unsustainable path. We've kept that thought also in our mind, which is important for us to remember here, because today's solution should not cause tomorrow's problem. With that, I think I'll wrap up today's presentation. Anurag ji can do the summary.
धन्यवाद वित्त मंत्री जी। जैसा माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने कहा कि जो मांग बढ़ाने के लिए कुछ निर्णय किए गए, उसमें LTC वाउचर स्कीम के लिए 28,000 करोड़ रुपया और 8,000 करोड़ रुपया आपको त्योहारों के समय एडवांस देने के लिए, तो कुल मिलाकर 36,000 करोड़ रुपया अतिरिक्त जो उपभोक्ता मांग को पैदा करने के लिए इसमें वृद्धि होगी। और इसके अलावा 37,000 करोड़ रुपए का केंद्र और राज्यों का पूंजीगत व्यय बढ़ाने के लिए उसका प्रावधान 37,000 करोड़ रुपया। और कुल बूस्ट जो देखा जाए मांग को बढ़ाने के लिए जो कुल एस्टिमेट लगभग ये 73,000 करोड़ रुपया बनता है, जिसको 31 मार्च 2021 तक खर्च करना है। और अगर हम एक रफ एस्टिमेट भी लेकर चलें कि ये एलटीसी का बेनिफिट जो है, यात्रा अवकाश भत्ते का बेनिफिट, अगर प्राइवेट सेक्टर भी उसी तर्ज पर देता है तो लगभग 28,000 करोड़ रुपया उसका भी इसमें गिने तो 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज़्यादा इसकी मांग होगी। यानी कि इससे डिमांड भी बढ़ेगी। जहां एक और लोगों के पास पैसा होगा खर्च करने के लिए, वहीं व्यापारी के लिए व्यापार बढ़ाने का अवसर होगा और उसकी आय के भी अवसर बढ़ेंगे। और यही नहीं, इसके अलावा जो बात माननीय वित्त मंत्री ने बहुत महत्वपूर्ण कही कि इसका बोझ जो है, भविष्य की मुद्रास्फीति का बोझ आम नागरिक पर ना पड़े, आम आदमी पर ना पड़े, इसका भी ध्यान रखा गया है। और सरकार का जो एक खर्च है या कर्जा जो है, ये आरक्षणीय राह पर ना हो, इसको भी प्रावधान किया गया ताकि देश का भविष्य को ध्यान में रखते हुए भी आम आदमी को राहत भी दी है, सरकारी कर्मचारी को राहत दी, तो वहीं पर सरकारी कर्ज को भी ध्यान में रख के कि आरक्षणीय राह पर ना हो, इसलिए कदम उठाए गए कि आज के उपाय कल की मुसीबत ना बने, लेकिन आज उसका लाभ भी मिल सके, इसलिए इसको बिल्कुल बैलेंस करके दिया गया है। लगभग 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज़्यादा का आज ये जो घोषणा आपके सामने की गई, इसके लिए आप सब आए सुनने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत आभार।
धन्यवाद सर, मैडम धन्यवाद। कुछ क्वेश्चंस ले लेते हैं। 22।
Good afternoon, ma'am. Shishir here from Hindu Business Line. I need just 2 clarification. One on the LTC cash voucher scheme, as it has been said that the 3 time of the fare and 1 time of the leave cash encashment. Since we are getting the tax benefit on 1 time fare, so will the tax benefit be applicable on all the entire amount of the fare thing? And the second part is that under this 10,000 rupees festival advance, as you said that it will be prepaid RuPay card and it has to be spent by March 31st, 2021. Suppose someone has not spent the entire 10,000 rupees, so will the balance only be taken as the advance or the entire 10,000 will be taken as the advance? Thank you, ma'am.
Tarun or
So far as the tax benefit is concerned, government employees, central government employees, if they travel under the LTC scheme, there are certain entitlements that certain category of officers are entitled to railway journey, economy class or business class. So that expenditure, the money in lieu of that will be paid to the concerned employee and he will get the full tax exemption on that one. And in case supposing private sector also, they have their own LTC scheme which should conform to this government rules. It is already there, already is existing that if the private sector also has this similar scheme, the block of 4 years, and then in 2 years hometown, and then another 2 years, anywhere in the country. So that scheme also will follow, will have the same tax exemption. Now about the second question, that in case this, you had, Shishir, you had asked about the cash advance.
The first question was about whether the 3 time of the fare has to be paid. So we are getting tax concession on 1 time. So the entire 3 time amount will get the tax benefit.
No. What you will get is only on that, the amount, that the deemed fare, but in order to get that tax exemption and also get that money from the employer or the government, you will have to spend 3 times. So if you spend 3 times, there are 2 benefits. One is that you will get the money, right, the deemed fare, and plus you will get the tax exemption on the deemed fare. The second question, can you just repeat?
Scheme where you said that a 10,000 rupees worth of prepaid RuPay card will be given and that has to be spent by March 31st, 2021. My question was that if somebody has spent only rupees 5,000, so will only 5,000 be taken as the advance and to be recovered in 10 equal installment, or the entire 10,000 to be recovered in 10 equal installment?
See, this is a prepaid card, and then it will work out in the details of the scheme that the prepaid card will have this credit limit of 10,000, 10,000 rupees. In case supposing if the amount is not spent, the entire amount should be spent by 31st of March. And if the amount is not spent, of course, the details will be known that what exactly. I mean, the one option is that, the entire amount could lapse, because the whole condition is that the amount should lapse, amount should be spent before 31st of March. And then whatever is the amount that is spent, that will be recovered in 10 installments. Yes.
13.
The card will lapse on 31st March, and therefore whatever you've spent will have to be recovered from you. The residual amount will not be usable because the card expires on 31st March.
Ma'am, Timsi Jaipuria from CNBC TV 18. Two questions. Firstly, you've given rough estimates about the demand that is likely to be created through these measures, especially on the consumer side. What are the bases of these estimates? And secondly, as you said, you would request private sector also to replicate the same measures. Are you in touch with private sector? Have you already spoken to industries in private sector to replicate? What is their view?
As the finance minister and the MOS Finance were mentioning in their statement, that we have made these estimates on a very conservative manner. For example, on the LTC, we have assumed that only 1/4 of the employees would actually be claiming the LTC from the central government employees. It could be higher. If it is higher, we'll be very happy to spend more from the government, because this actually leads to 3 times more spend from their own pocket. So it helps the economy. So it will be a good thing. That's why she mentioned and emphasized again and again that it's on a conservative basis. On the state side, for all the things, she also pointed out to all of you was that the expectation is that only 50% of the states would actually replicate that. And we have also accounted for the fact that some of the states don't allow LTC beyond their state. So the amount that they would be giving to their employees would be lower than the slabs that the central government is fixing for the 3 categories. So we have made estimates, but let me emphasize once again that our estimates are on conservative side. We are expecting the actual spend to be higher than that. Did you ask another question? I think
Private sector should also replicate. Are you in touch with them? Have you already spoken to them? What is their response? Will they replicate this or not? Because the quantum of private sector employees is much larger than the government employees.
What we have also shown to you is that the private sector impact is also the same as the state government and the central government together. 28,000 there and 28,000 here. That is the estimate that we have taken. We have based it on a rough estimate. Formally, obviously, there could not have been a talk with the private sector, but we expect that because the amount that is being given in the private sector, the amount that they give may be much larger, so they would be happy if they are getting a tax concession to lap up this scheme and give it to their employees.
I think so many questions. Please just wait. Let me go to the next person. 50.
Hi, ma'am. This is Aftab from Reuters. Will today's measures entail any additional borrowing in the current fiscal, ma'am?
I think when I made that, I met the press on the 30th September, I think I had mentioned to you that we have taken into account the announcements for the stimulus that we would be making. At this point of time, our estimate remains to be 12 lakh crores for the current financial year. It remains that.
6.
मैम मैं मोनिका जी मीडिया से। मैम मेरा सवाल है कि ये जो आपने स्टिमुलस पैकेज जो आज अनाउंस करा, ये उन सेक्टर्स जो कि बहुत ज़्यादा प्रभावित हुए कोरोना पैंडेमिक से, उनको डायरेक्टली कैसे मदद करेगा?
अगर ये सब खर्च लोग उठाएंगे, उससे डिमांड बढ़ेगा, तो जिन वर्ग है जो अफेक्टेड है कोरोना वायरस का, उनका डिमांड बढ़ेगी, उनका रोजगार उससे प्रभावित होगा. So it will directly have a bearing once the demand increases because of the expenditure that is being incurred by these people, the government employees, the public sector undertaking. It will have an impact on those who desperately are looking for demand to keep their business going.
51.
Madam Minister, good afternoon. This is Arup Rai Chaudhary from Money Control. Ma'am, just a couple of questions regarding the
Not
LTC.
couple of questions. Ask one question, please.
Regarding the LTC cash voucher scheme. At a time when the consumer behavior is to save rather than spend, how will you ensure that employees who are availing the LTC cash voucher scheme are spending? Because you have said an employee opting for this scheme will be required to. How will you ensure that required to happens? When the other scheme you have given a RuPay card, how will you ensure in this scheme?
I think the biggest factor encouraging people to avail of the scheme is the fact that in a 4-year block, already you're coming to an end of the 4-year block by the end of 2021. The LTC that you have not availed, even if you availed some, you didn't avail rest, are going to go away without you utilizing it at all. And travel till now is not clear as to when you can resume. So instead of waiting for that day when you can resume travel and benefit from the LTC scheme, this will tempt them to avail of this facility, because festivals are coming for irrespective of the religions, next 6 months. Whenever you want to use it, you can use it and spend the money towards buying some goods which can help your family. You can add.
You know, the scheme details will be known to you. The scheme is built in such a way that the incentive is given to you that you claim this benefit and spend money from you. So the scheme details will ensure that you will get the benefit only if by 31st of March 2021 you are able to spend the money. If you spend less of money, you will get less benefit, and then your LTC would lapse for that current year. In our view, whatever plans people have of spending, they will actually prepone their plans because this is the benefit that they're getting.
11.
Ma'am, this is Krishnanand from ETV Bharat. I have two simple questions about the efficacy of these two consumer spending measures announced by you. First, there is natural aversion to travel due to COVID. So in such a scenario, how effective this scheme would be? Second, on the consumer festival cash advance, you said these are the people who have surplus cash with them because not only their job was protected, but they were also not able to spend due to lockdown measures. So why would they need rupees 10,000 advance with so many strings attached? So how effective these two schemes would be?
First of all, there are no strings attached to the 10,000. As always, till the 6th pay commission, every pay commission allowed for festival advance. You take the money in advance and spend it on items. There are no conditions of whatever strings attached to it. So that should be made clear that there is no string attached to the festival advance. Second, we are not asking people to travel. Yes, if they are averse to travel, they are just not averse to travel, but even the system doesn't facilitate travel now because of the pandemic. We are not expecting them to travel. We are actually telling them that money which would have gone for the tickets for your travel need not go for ticket. Now you take it as cash and spend it. Only make sure you're spending twice more, 3 times more, equivalent to your travel, the round ticket paisa that you would otherwise have got in the LTC. You spend that money. So we are not asking them to travel. We are instead asking that travel money to be spent on items which have 12% or more GST. If only you look at the items which are under 12%, you will know that is the kind of things people normally buy during festivals. Your refrigerators, televisions, freezers, water coolers, food grinders, mixers, vacuum cleaners, storage water heaters, immersion heaters, hair dryers, electric smoothing of irons, and so on. So many different items which normally during festival times families do buy. Now this ticket price is given to you as cash, and we are saying please spend 3 times more and avail of it. And that money which would have otherwise gone a waste because you're not able to travel, you can spend on items. That's what is being announced.
Second last question, 37.
मैम मैं शैलेश हूँ ENI से। ये जो पैकेज आपने आज अनाउंस कर रहा है, ये आखिरी पैकेज है या अभी और कुछ बाकी है बजट से पहले जो अनाउंस करेंगे?
Okay.
इसको पहले देख लें, आज तक, आज शाम तक इसका थोड़ा अध्ययन करें।
20.
Ma'am, very good afternoon. Sapna here from CNBC. Ma'am, wanted to just understand that on the LTC part, ma'am, this is an additional spend on the part of the government because after the 7th Pay Commission, no such announcement had been made. That's one, ma'am.
No. LTC has been there before, is continuing to be now. It has nothing to do with the Pay Commission. The Pay Commission thing is only in the festival advance.
Okay.
Festival advance was there till 6th Pay Commission. The current Pay Commission, which is the 7th Pay Commission, does not include festival advance. LTC has been there, it is there even now.
Right, ma'am. Just
Thank you
on
very
that,
much,
ma'am,
ma'am.
is that an additional spend on the part of the government, ma'am?
No, these are part of your, any case, part of your, scheme of things. So it is not an additional spend on LTC. But this 10,000 which is being given as festival advance is an advance being given which was no longer in the scheme of things, but now it's being given. But even that is not an additional burden because that's going to be recovered over 10 installments.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Friends, thank you very much.